Now, what has been developed, I think it's important for you to know, is that the courts are paying, in my experience, less attention to emotional issues for the children. What is in their well-being emotionally? What I'm finding the courts are doing are measuring parents in a much, much lower standard that was done even 10 years ago. I'm seeing courts make decisions based upon a parent's ability to just simply take care of the physical needs of the child. I've tried some cases recently in which I thought 10 years ago it would have been hands down a court would have been worried. Claudia's boss was involved in a case in which I think I proved pretty well father had a drinking problem. And pretty well he was acting in a circumstance in which he was being untreated. He had gone cold turkey. And I think it was spilling over to the kids, and the court said just nothing. Now I think 10 years ago that would have made a difference. So what I learned from these cases, when I want to bounce ideas, I don't go talk to my friends who are living in West Austin and have a perfect life, and they're trying to make sure that their children not only get every possible advantage, but make sure they get the best soccer coach and they're doing everything they can. We're not talking about that, guys. We're not talking about that level of parenting. So when you're making a decision of settling a case and you think you've got a fact that your client's husband had an affair with his secretary or with the neighbor or with her best friend, forget about it. That is not important unless the children were exposed to it. And then frankly, what I think the most likely result is, if the children were exposed to this affair, is the court's going to order him to not let the children be around her, and is going to point their finger and say, don't do that again. You are not going to get extraordinary relief on those kinds of facts. The facts that you're going to get extraordinary relief on typically are active abuse of drugs, active abuse of alcohol, significant mental illness. I'm not talking depression, okay? I'm frankly not talking about manic depression. If somebody's taking their medication and they're functioning and they're able to work, forget about it. Try to find peace. Don't take those to the judges. If there's any physical abuse of the children, obviously that's really important. And I think emotional abuse of the children can have a significant effect, and sometimes emotional or physical abuse of the spouse. I tried a case in which I represented the most verbally abusive person I've ever met in my life, and he was my client. And in the middle of the hearing, the opposing lawyer pushed a recording button, and the judge heard 5 minutes of some of the nastiest things you can imagine. And my client did not do very well. It did not go very well for him. So verbal abuse can have an effect.